Movement is the thing that separates an average player from a pro player. That's why today I'll be showing you 10 movements that will make you a pro in COD Mobile. For movement number 1, have juggle peeking. This is what jiggle picking looks like from the eye of an enemy. Now it's very simple to do this movement. All you gotta do is peek from a cover, and as soon as you're exposed, go right back into your cover. You gotta do this really fast for it to work, so you can be slow when doing this. The main purpose of this movement is to get information about your enemy and lock the aim on your target. For example, when I see that there's a guy right here, I'll go back into my cover and then I'll fix my aim to where he was and peek right back and get the kill. Now if you didn't go back behind the wall, the enemy could have spotted you and you could have died before you even had the chance to aim on him. So jiggle peeking will help you avoid getting shot, and it's going to give you a better aim. Movement number 2, bee hopping. 2 is bee hopping. Bee hopping is basically jumping like a bunny to dodge bullet. The main purpose of doing this movement is to ruin the aim of your enemy and make you harder to hit. Now you can combine bee hopping with strafing to make your enemies even more confused. I recommend practicing bee hopping with a bot, that way you'll be able to control both your jump and your aim, but make sure to not overuse this movement, because as you continue to jump, the height of your jump gets smaller, but using this movement in a proper way can give you a huge advantage. Movement number 3, zigzagging. Learn is zigzag. Zigzagging makes you really hard to hit no matter what type of gun your enemy is using. Here's how to do zigzagging. Step 1, move your joystick left to right within this range. Step 2, do the same kind of motion on the left side of your screen but faster, and it should look something like this if you're doing this properly. So now you know how to zigzag. But here's one: you should use this movement whenever you get into a 2v1 situation where you think you can't win the fight. Make sure to use zigzag to get out of that situation. Like I said, the enemies are gonna have a hard time tracking you when you're doing this, so it's really effective when getting out of sticky situations. Movement number 4, slide cancelling. For is slide cancelling. By using slide cancel, you'll have a better crosshair placement and you'll be harder to hit by your enemies. But how do you use this movement? Well, you need to go to your basic settings and turn on tap and hold 380. With that setting turned on, all you gotta do is press the slide button. And right after pressing slide, tap right in 1 second. But why do we strafe in the first place? Well, the obvious reason to scrape is to ruin the aim of your enemy. It's way harder to aim on a moving body compared to something that's stationary, but keep in mind this also applies to you. When you're scraping, it will be harder to hit your shots. That's why I recommend practicing tracking on the training mode. That way you'll be able to master strafing. And movement number 6, strafe peeking. Number 6, we have strafe peeking. This is when you align your crosshair to where the enemy could be before peeking into an angle. Now compared to something like slide peeking, this will make your accuracy 10 times better. Great peeking is especially useful with snipers because you need to have a good cross replacement when using sniper rifles, and make sure to pre-fire when you're not using a sniper to decrease the time to kill. But keep in mind, you should only use this movement when your enemy doesn't know your location for obvious reasons. Movement number 7, drop shotting. At number 7, we have drop shotting. To drop shot, the first thing you need to do is start shooting using the fire to adds button, and as soon as your gun starts shooting, press the prone button to drop down into the ground and get the kill. This is the proper way of drop shouting that you should follow. Now this movement works very well at close range because most people are not gonna expect you to drop down into the ground and their aim is still going to be at the center, but you will be dropping down into the floor, making you impossible to hit. But don't drop shot at long range because it's really not that effective at longer ranges, but in close range, this is one of the most powerful movements you can do. Movement number 8, slide jumping. Our next movement is slide jumping. This is what slide jumping looks like. To do this movement, you need to be running in one direction, then you need to face the opposite direction and make a slide. As soon as you complete your slide, do a 180 and press jump. Now you do need to practice the timing to get this right, but if you manage to master this movement, this is what's going to happen to your enemy. When you slide jump, your enemy is gonna aim towards the direction you're sliding and they are not gonna expect you to jump on the opposite direction, meaning you can get an easy kill. Or let's say you're running out of a corner and you see that there's an enemy, what you can do is slide back into the corner and jump right back to get the kill. Slide jumping is really going to help you win more fights. But that's all for today, and I'll see you later. Peace out.